I'm gonna have to change the title because I didn't finish it. Awesome. Okay, I think we are live right now. Let me double check, make sure everything's good. Let's see. Everything's good? Okay. Let me just go ahead and send this out on Twitter. Now, I have already posted the notes for this discussion on Twitter. I should go back later, and I'm going to go ahead and share that on my Facebook group as well. So, post to Facebook. All right. All right, now we're ready to go. Okay, so hey y'all, this is Stevie with Redneck Economics. Let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Trying to Be Fine. Robin! Oh my God, Robin! Robin's here. Oh my God. Oh, I miss you so much. I was just talking about you today. Oh my gosh, that's like my best friend ever. Okay, I will call me, or I'll call you tomorrow. Okay, yes, Piggy promise. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Sorry, things have just been kind of crazy up here, but so I posted the notes on Twitter of what I wanted to talk about tonight, which is basically I have hit a wall. I've hit a wall with what I'm supposed to be doing. Y'all know if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I used to be like I used to research all the laws they were trying to pass. I was researching who to vote for, all this stuff. But as I learned more, as I witnessed the 2016 election, um, I knew that we had to take it a step further. Like I knew I couldn't just sit here and tell y'all about what all the problems are in the world because, uh, you know, most of the people out there know that everything's messed up. Like that's not new information. That oh my gosh, this person is corrupt. Oh my gosh, this party is corrupt. That these people don't care about you that are in charge of everything. Like that is not, you know, news breaking information right there. Like we already are very well aware of the problem. Um, so I try not to get bogged down in the details of all that because it's like, yeah, I could come here and like report all that information, and not that it's unimportant because there are a lot of journalists out there that are reporting on the problems, and it's I mean James with Monotalk, he does great research on stuff like that. I mean, there's we had Slow News Day that we just interviewed, Last American Vagabond. Um, there's a lot of people out there, and that is critical to what we're doing. Like we have to have the information um, in order to make uh, educated decisions, right? But at the same time, it's like we need to do more. Like just knowing about a problem, knowing about the corruption, knowing about how we're getting screwed over, it's not that's not doing us any favors as far as achieving a different outcome, right? So what I did was the notes that I posted was about um, battle tactics. Now, I'm not talking about grabbing your guns and going out in the streets. What I'm talking about is like a way of thinking of how we can attack their resources, which is what they do to us, right? They undermine our ability to provide, our basic necessities. We can't afford housing, we can't afford food, we can't afford any of these things. So we're so busy trying to survive that we can't pay attention to the things that they're doing. And that is by design. That is by design. It's a win-win for them. They get to keep, all that money and they get to keep us distracted. So what I'm talking about is they've been keeping us on a defensive um, kind of tactic. Like we are reacting to the things that they are doing. We are actively trying to put out all these fires that they're starting. You know, like they do these things. They threaten Roe v. Wade. They'll threaten, freedom of speech or absolutely destroy it, which Montauk just went over. But these are all the things that they do that we have to react to, that we have to defend against. And what we need to do is totally change the dynamic of, of attack. Instead of reacting to what they are doing, we need to make them react to what we're doing. They've got all these people out there that there's the people that are in control, and then there are the people that go out and enforce um, the laws that the people in control, pass. Police officers, ICE, IRS, all these different, groups of people enforce the dissenters. They go out there and crack the skulls of the people that don't follow the script, right? So I'm tired of reacting. I mean, Joe Biden was pumping out memes about 5 years ago to lay the groundwork for his campaign. So they already knew 5 years ago, they knew that they were going to run Joe Biden. And yet you have the Green Party that just reacts to whoever is in the office, and just last second runs a candidate. I mean, these people are not. I mean, we are vastly under resourced, compared to what the oligarchy has. We don't have that to work with. We do not have billions of dollars at our disposal. We do not have mainstream media at our disposal. We don't have all these things. So we have to work extra hard and be extra smart about what we're doing and plan a little bit longer than what they do in order to get what we want. We need to really seriously do some damn work. And that's where you lose a lot of people, right? It's not as exciting as hearing about, the details of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell. Everybody wants to know about the, it's scandalous. You want to know about this stuff. But where's it going to get us? Where are we going with that? I mean, if we don't learn about that stuff and apply it to some actions, we're not going to get anywhere with this movement. And that's just us sitting around and complaining about a problem and doing nothing about it. And that is not something that is in my nature. I don't want to just sit around and complain about something that we can fix. That's just wasted energy. So let's go ahead and check back in with the chat, see where we're at. We got Try to Be Fine, Robin. Oh, Robin's done a job.
Please check your sound. It sounds good, but Michael said it's kind of low.
Kind of low? Okay, I'll move the mic a little bit closer. Okay, thank you.
Do you know how to check your sound in audio and Zoom?
Not really. It's all right. I got the mic a little bit closer. Okay, so we got, all right, I lost my place. We got Michael, Snort, Dax. Awesome. Montauk. Yeah, I think that's probably just me. I don't talk very loud. Okay. So, all right, back to what we were talking about. Let me bring up my notes. I don't know. So yeah, I'm just frustrated. This is the wall that I've hit. I just don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I try to reach out. I try to talk to people. I know that the majority of the people that watch my show get it, but it's like, I need to find allies. I need people that want to do the work. I need people that are willing to do something, and not just just talk. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love talking, y'all, but I mean, and we have to talk about these things, but just talking is not enough. This is going to have to be us getting out in the streets. So, what kind of tactics can we use uh, in order to achieve what we want? So, as far as like laying out some battle tactics, right? The Dollop just did an excellent two-part um, episode on Abby Hoffman. Now, that's the movie, The Trial of the Seven, I think is what it's called. It's on Netflix right now. That doesn't even touch what Abby Hoffman was doing. What Abby Hoffman was doing, he was inspired by Lenny Bruce. He was an activist for freedom of speech, and what he did was he turned the um, the duopolies uh, resources. He used their resources, right? I mean, these were people with no money, no power, and what he did was he used the resources of the wealthy in order to serve his narrative. So the whole thing started out with he, uh, at least with as far as when the movie, uh, the content that the movie was talking about, they planned a rally, and they made it sound like it was going to be this violent, protests, revolution. There's going to be, public fornication and drugs and all these things just to make it sound scandalous enough to where the mainstream media would cover it. And then you've got the cops that show up and it's just a bunch of hippies just sitting around listening to music, and they start cracking skulls. They start doing it. Wasn't They did not go, they didn't burn anything down, they didn't do anything like that. All they did was assemble. That's it. And by doing that, they threatened the powers that be, and they uh you know roughed them up and cracked their skulls. So um but they use that as a platform to talk about their issues. I mean, even in the court, they read out the names of the people that had been killed in the Vietnam War because they wanted to make sure that this is the platform that this is the time that they get to speak. This is the time that they get to bring attention to what needs to be talked about. And instead of making it about them and a plea to, for their innocence, instead they directed that attention back onto the cause. This is why we're really here. But they didn't do that. They didn't pay off anybody. What they did was they just used mainstream media's resources against themselves. And you see this today with people reporting on, Trump's dossier. You see them when it's reported on, Giuliani, this whole new thing with Borat and Giuliani when he was adjusting his mic. Look, I don't like Giuliani, but uh, what are the odds that he's just going to start whacking off in the middle of an interview? Well, I don't know because that's, I mean, we do have Jeffrey Tubin that couldn't keep it in his pants. But I mean, Giuliani's been around the block a few times. He knows when to whip it out and when not to. So, I mean, he's gone so this long without, anything like that. So I'm going to say that so far, I'm going to go with he was adjusting his mic. Um, but this is what people report on without any facts, without any sources. They say this all the time. Unknown sources. Um, or somebody close, a close aide to the president reports that he said something, and people run with that without anything. And so mainstream media is not concerned with what's true and what's not. It's about what gets views and what doesn't. So we can use that to our advantage, just like, Abby Hoffman did. I mean, they're still guilty of it. I mean, they don't care. They'll show up. So we can use that. There are different ways that we can use their resources against them. But it comes down to we got to have people in the street. We've got to have people that are willing to work and do the job. And what I'd like to do is set up something like almost like a chore list. I know that sounds really boring and tedious, but I mean, we just need people out there that are willing to retweet or promote events like protests and marches and stuff. We need people out there that can help out. Like, let's say there's a rally in Charleston, West Virginia, and let's say it's something for the kids. So all the parents want to go and show up to this rally, but hey, they've got kids, nobody to watch them. Maybe we've got a couple of uh, certified child care workers that are willing to go to the park and sit with the kids while parents can go out and protest, stuff like that. I mean, whatever skill a person has, it can be used. And that was, let me see if I can bring this up. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and screen share some of these notes that I've got right now. Yeah. Hold on. So it's be under photos. Hold on. Photos. Here we go. Okay, share. Okay, so what you're seeing here is a list of skill sets that we need. Uh, we need people that understand taxes, because that's what the corporate and political people in charge have. They have people that can get them out of paying their taxes, basically. And I think that we could do the same. We could pay the taxes. We could find a way to pay the taxes that go towards like Social Security and things like that, but find a way to avoid paying the taxes, like the federal taxes, that go towards funding wars and corporate bailouts and things like that. We need extroverts. This is not, you know, my strong suit. I is being an extrovert. We need people that just love to go out and thrive on talking to people and are able to communicate, and friendly, knowledgeable people to be able to go out and try to bring people in. People that know about sales, people that are great at organizing. Artists, we need artists that can go in and create art, create something that a piece of art that stirs a feeling within people, or just to do art for advertisement for us. Childcare duty, I already talked about that. We need writers, journalists, especially lawyers, union people, you know people that can do kind of security detail, like when we're doing like protests and marches, to where they can spot people that are trying to incite violence or trying to do things like that, so they can get them out of there and not um, so it doesn't make the rest of the group look bad, because we have to be on the same page. And that's one of them. Nonviolence um, is a big one. And I put church leaders on here just because there's a lot of good people that I know in the church that want better. They want better for their community. And so it'd be great to bring them in, especially when it comes to the Sunday Best protest. And this was an idea I first heard about on Jimmy Dore. And I thought it was a great idea because, I mean, how's it going to look when you got somebody dressed up going to church? It's not some hippie that's getting, uh, sprayed in the face with pepper spray. This is somebody that looks like they just left church. It's shocking to see it. Somebody in a business suit, being hit with the baton. It just, that's not something you're used to seeing, and it also just kind of, draws the attention onto. It's not a certain group of people. This is, everybody across the board. Um, that's wanting to do this. Everybody, we're all being affected by the corruption. We're all paying the price for it. So let's go back to the chat. Let's see what chat's got. Um, the yippies tried to physically exercise. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that they tried to levitate the Pentagon. I mean, he was brilliant when it came to the media. He was brilliant at working it to their advantage. Times were different back then. People hated hippies back then. Yeah. But here's the crazy part is like they were able to achieve that without social media. No internet, no social media. These were just people on the ground going out there and convincing other people to show up. There wasn't, there's no hashtags. This was just all groundwork, pure groundwork. And now we've got it, we should have it a lot easier now that we have social media. We can reach people all across the world. But for some reason, it's like, it's, there's censorship, of course, but it's like it should make this so much easier, but it's not. Um, yeah, just publicity. And I don't care if your thing is healthcare. I don't care if your thing is a thriving wage. It what I want to see is if you do not like the system the way that it is designed right now, get out in the street. If you don't like, the electoral system, if you don't like the way we do elections, if you don't like the way that we do voting, if you don't like the way that we do, wages, or, name something. I don't care. I don't care what you label yourself as. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, whatever your cause is, because we need people dedicated to all these causes, ending racism, you know, free college, things like that. Whatever it is, it's wrong. Whatever it is that you care about, that the people in charge are never going to give you that. Look at this right now. We are what, 6 months into a pandemic, and who's gotten paid? They shut down your work, but do you have health care? Did they give out health care during a pandemic? Did they give out a living wage, or make sure that the businesses that they shut down, that those people could afford rent? Did they defer mortgage payments? Did they do any of this stuff? No, but they made sure that Kanye West and airlines and Nancy Pelosi's husband and all these other people, they got their bailouts. They got their bailouts, but we'll never get ours. And they keep promising us that if we vote for them, that come November, we'll get our stimulus check. Do y'all believe that? Even for a second? Do y'all think that for a second that they would do anything for us, especially after we've lost our leverage? Supposedly right now that we could hold them accountable by voting for them, right? But they're going to say, just vote for me, and I promise I'll go ahead and give you that money. Just vote for me first. That's not how it works. You give us what we want, and then we vote for you. That's how that works. If they don't give us this next stimulus by the election, we ain't going to get it at all. Whoever wins, and I do not think it's going to be Biden. I definitely disagree with Jimmy Dore on that. Do you really think that Joe Biden is going to win? People can't get out to the polls. There's, lines wrapped around, blocks. When there's low voter turnout, the Republican wins every time, and people are still just as pissed off, if not more, at the Democratic Party. They ran a known loser, just like they ran the known loser, Hillary Clinton, because they have no intention of winning. They don't want to win. So yeah, I definitely disagree with Jimmy Dore on that Trump is going to win, or that Biden's going to win. I think Trump is going to be the winner. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter. Biden, Trump, they have their plan, and it doesn't matter who wins. They're going to go ahead with the agenda no matter who's in the office. It's just frustrating. I'm just so sick of just talking about this stuff. I need people that are willing to help. They did not promise that, by the way. Biden said the cupboard is bare, no checks from him. Trump will hand out more money. There you go. There you go. I mean, the Democrats won't even promise anything. They just say, you know, we're not racist. Those people are racist. They're the ones working with the Kremlins. You know, like they even said in the emails that were released, you know, the Podesta emails, do not promise Black Lives Matter anything. Do not make any concrete promises or policies for Black Lives Matter. They're all talk, no action, unless it's something that their donors want. It and what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take for people to say, where's the line in the sand? Where's the line in the sand for people to say, you know what, I can't live like this. I cannot accept this. I cannot just pretend like these things are not happening, like these things are not affecting me. I mean, you've got unemployment in the millions, and even the people that are employed can't afford their rent. You've got people in California that are homeless that are employed. Think about that. And that's not the line in the sand. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for people to say enough is enough? That we have to get out there, that we have to make them uncomfortable. We have to find out, where do they go golfing? Where do they eat dinner? Where do they go shopping? Where do they do their yoga? And we need to show up there and harass them endlessly until they do something. If we don't get to be comfortable, if we don't get a moment's peace from all this stuff, constantly being bombarded on all sides by the threat of a pandemic, that not having health care, not being able to afford anything, not being able to get an education. If we have to live like that, so do they. So do they. They don't get to be comfortable when they put us through so much hell. And I know it's apathy. I know a lot of this comes down to people don't feel like they have the power to change anything. They feel helpless against an entire system that's rigged to fuck them over. What do? I mean, I've felt that way before. I've been there. It's like, you know, back when I was a teenager, I looked into all this stuff and I was like, so what are you supposed to do? And it made me feel helpless. And then it got to the point when people were asking me about stuff, I'd say, well, I'm not political. I don't know about any of this. When everything we do is political. But there are ways that we can make them listen. We got to put the check on their power. Supposedly there's checks and balances, right? There's checks and balances against, you know, the federal and the, you know, judiciary branch, or the executive branch, and all these, you know, but they're all on the same team. The only teams that we're talking about is us versus them. And we don't have a check on them, or not one that we've exercised so far. I think the people that have been closest to it is probably Black Lives Matter, but you know, I'm not even hearing that much about them anymore. You know, mainstream media already wants to move on from that. And we have to remind them that yes, you are going to cover this, and yes, you are going to bring attention to this. Yeah, I mean, and what do? When they get in trouble, what do they get? Slap on the wrist, you know, a small fine compared to the billions of dollars that they made. We need to just really throw a wrench in the machine, because the machine keeps churning, right? We keep showing up to our jobs, we keep voting, we keep doing all these things, we keep, you know, falling for the line of the lesser of two evils. We keep, you know, but at the end of the day, we just make sure that the machine keeps rolling. It just keeps running over people and chewing them up and spitting them out. But we grease the machine. We make sure the cogs still run. We make sure everything, you know, keeps going according to plan. And until we throw a wrench in that machine, dismantle it, we're going to keep getting what we've been getting, and less and less and less and less of it. it's just, it's too much, man. It's just too much. I wish there's some people out there that can just sit back and laugh and just laugh at the whole situation. I know Tim Dillon's one of those. I was just watching him, and he said, you know, you got to laugh at this stuff. You got to just look at it and just say, this is so utterly ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that you have to laugh at it or you go crazy. But that's my problem. I have trouble laughing at all this. I mean, it's especially when you can put names and faces to the people that have been chewed up by the machine. You know, I can think of a lot of people that I've heard about, you know, that I've met, that I've talked to. I know Tim Dillon's so funny. You got propaganda in there. Uh, yeah, BLM. I don't know. See, there's a difference between the people that run it, because I know the people that are running it are getting millions of dollars in donations and all this. But then there's the people that are just like, hey, racism's bad. And they show up to a protest, you know, or like, hey, you know, cops killing people in the street is bad. And they go to a protest. I mean, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But the thing is like they have people out there, agent provocateurs and such that, you know, other people have covered that have gone into a otherwise peaceful protest that have gone in to disrupt it. Jake's here. Hey. Oh my gosh. Um, I was just out today. I was driving through Canal City and I saw Paula Jean's campaign out, and they were doing signs and stuff, holding them up for it. And, you know, of course, I yelled out, I was like, "Woo, Paula Jean, go Paula Jean!" And then, like 3 blocks later, there was a campaign for Trump and Justice waving signs, and um, I booed them. I don't know. I know that it probably doesn't really matter much, but come on. I mean, I can understand. I can almost understand people falling for Trump, but for justice is like Trump, but like the generic brand. Like he doesn't have the charisma or anything. He's just like, well, we are going to go and build our interstate infrastructure. Like he's so dumb. He's so dumb. And I can't stand him. I don't know how anybody can say, "Yep, that's my dude." Um, yeah, and the DNC does. Yeah, propaganda. So DNC lies about its support for BLM. It wasn't 6 months ago where they couldn't bring themselves to say Black Lives Matter. They won't do it. I mean, Nancy Pelosi can't even remember George Floyd's name. You know that bill for um what did she call him? I can't remember what she called him, but she's called George Floyd by the wrong name. A name we'll never forget. Somebody so and so Johnson. It's just you dumb bitch. Like you're sitting there and you've got your African garb on, kneeling for police brutality, and you can't even remember George Floyd's name. The fuck out of here. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. And neither should anybody else. I don't know how people are so calm. I don't know how people haven't started just metaphorically burning this shit down. But I think Paula Jean's doing pretty good here. I mean, people love her. I really. OG Johnson. Hell yeah. We need to abolish Citizens United, um, abolish the Patriot Act, and we push and force term limits for judges, congressional candidates, along with a few stating that we, the people, pick the judge. Yep. I would love to see that. I'd love to see a direct democracy. I would love to see, you know, if we can vote for the people that get to vote on these policies, well, why not just let us cut out the middleman? You know how much the corporate elite love to cut out the middleman so they can get all the profits. Well, how about we cut out the middleman of these senators and stuff and just have some people that do the paperwork, right? But we get to vote on what laws we want. We get to say. I mean, so we're smart enough to pick a senator, but we're not smart enough to vote on whether or not we want to get tangled up in a war or how much taxes we're paying. And we need a way to remove people from office, not just, through impeachment. I mean, if they promise us something and they don't deliver on it, then we should be able to remove them from office, and due to ranked choice voting, the next person that was, that won the, you got your first person, then you got your runoff of, like, this person came in second, third, fourth, whatever. So if the number one person isn't doing their job, they or of what they promised, then they got to go. Then the next person can step up. And if they don't deliver what they promised, then they get to go. There's more efficient ways of doing this, and having somebody locked into a lifetime position. Do you get a lifetime position in your job? Is your job guaranteed no matter what? Like, if you just show up and just say, you know what, from now on, I'm just not going to do my job. Okay. I'm going to take all the money out of the cash register. Screw you guys. I'm going on break indefinitely, and y'all just figure it out. You would lose your job right then and there. But these people get to keep it, what, for a lifetime? 4 years, 8 years? None of it makes sense. It's maddening.
I just created a Slack,
You did?
99% together for action,
Is it the number 4 spelled out?
99%. I'm posting.
Okay. Okay, so there's a Slack channel that James just made. If you want to join it, it's for people that want, yeah, this is for action. This is for people that want to sign up to help out, to do anything. So Michael said what's needed is an end to first past the post elections. Yeah, gerrymandering, that's huge, huge. Undoing all that. Legalize bribery.
Electoral
Hey,
college,
Jordan, Austin,
electoral
government
college.
has the best union, right? Oh man, they get all they're a union, they get health care, they get a thriving wage, they get to do all the stuff that they say that we can't have. When I asked Jim Justice about a living wage here, he said, well, I don't know. I mean, it might upset the economy. But you being a billionaire doesn't fuck stuff up. You being a billionaire, that's okay. But somebody making $5 more an hour, that's going to upend the whole system, especially if you phase it in for businesses that are small businesses that only have a couple of but employees. If you phase it in over a period of time, please. Yeah, that's the problem. The problem is the mother with food stamps in Walmart, and not Jeff Bezos making billions of dollars and not paying taxes. It's an insult to our senses, or anything. I mean, you can just look at it and say, I don't know. I know 2 + 2 is 4, and that Jeff Bezos making billions of dollars and not paying taxes is probably the problem, and not the woman spending $100 a month in food stamps. But yeah, let's just keep blaming them and the immigrants and black people and anybody that's not, a rich white Republican. That's why I refuse. I refuse. I don't care if you vote for Biden. I don't care if you vote for Trump. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what color you are, what your sexual orientation is, what your religion is, or what your religion isn't. Like, it does not matter. Just be a good human being. Yeah, I mean, you got to breathe. You can't even, if you breathe wrong at your job, you're going to lose your job. But these public servants, and they don't want to use that word anymore. You know how they always like change the language to where uh to where it's on their side, right? Freedom, democracy, all this stuff, dog whistles. They don't ever call. When's the last time you heard a politician call themselves a public servant? Mitch Carmichael here, he started doing that. He was talking to a group of people. He goes, "Well, uh, um, I'm a senator." He almost said public servant, almost, and he was like, "No, I don't want to give them the wrong idea. I ain't here for them. I don't want to give them the wrong idea. I ain't here for the public." But that's their job, and if they're not doing it, then they need to get out. So let me go back to my notes because I wanted to touch on ways of making them uncomfortable. So let me see if I can find that. Yes, here it is. All right, so let me go back to Zoom, share screen, and photos. All right, so here's what I've got. Wrong thing. So, nope, this is the wrong one. How did I do that? There we go. There it is. Okay, so here are some ways that we can just mess things up for them. Boycott, strike, divest, protest, march, vote to a certain degree, civil disobedience, graffiti, art, social media, walkouts, sit-ins, product service boycotts, blockades, unofficial marches, occupations like Occupy Wall Street, debt refusal. You can use mainstream media against themselves. You know, these are the things that we can do to really make them uncomfortable. They don't get a moment's peace. They don't get to have a moment's peace. We don't get that luxury, and neither do they. I want to hold them to the same standard that maybe politicians should make minimum wage. You know, if it's so great for the majority of Americans to be making, I don't know. Put their money where their mouth is and start making minimum wage like the rest of us. Especially if they're going to keep going on vacation and not doing their job. I mean, why are we paying them so much money to do nothing? It's crazy out there. So if y'all have any other ideas, like on tactics, things that we can do, because go to the Slack for sure.
Start building a coalition.
Yeah, I mean, I need serious people. I need serious people that are willing.
Can't stick around time.
Yeah, we just got to do this. I mean, it's not glamorous, it's not fun, it's not a quick and easy
It's gonna be
fix. It is going to be work, but it is work that is worth the payoff. Nothing in this world comes free to us. Absolutely nothing. Nobody is going to give anything to us, especially power. Power isn't given, it's taken. It is taken. So we have to take it. We can ask them to give us a little morsel of power. No,
Pence for the papa.
please, sir, can I have some democracy? No, no. You're going to give me that damn democracy right now, whether you like it or not. So that's just what I'm saying. Just, you know, where's your line in the sand? Just really think about that, because my line is probably pretty far out there, because I don't tolerate it. I don't wait till it gets to my backyard. If you screw with one of us, you screw with all of us. That's how that works. Because if we allow it to happen to one of us, they will do it to all of us. It's just a matter of time. I mean, if you want to get technical with even with slavery, they didn't abolish slavery. They just labeled it something else and continued it. And now, who gets to be part of the new slavery complex? You know, the prison industrial complex. Poor people of any color, of any orientation, right? They're they're progressive. They'll allow anybody to be a slave now. You know, that's what they do. I mean, they'll allow anybody, black, white, man, woman, as long as you are willing to oppress others for the corporate donors, they'll allow you too to be in politics. Look at Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton. You know, women get it done. You know, they can oppress people just like, you know, rich white men can. This is not the kind of progressivism that we need. Like, we need actual, real, legit people in there. And we need people in every state. I mean, we need these people. And or not. Anyway, I was doing some notes. Crowdsourcing education. That might be something worth looking into, because right now the the people that are being affected by these problems, the majority of them don't have um, an inside guy. You know, they don't have lawyers or tax people. So maybe we could start crowdsourcing our own lawyers, our own, accountants, corporate finance people, to where, okay, we're going to pay for your college, but, just help us out. You can go do your job, do whatever you need to do. But, if we need a lawyer, if we have some legal questions about, protests that we're organizing, you can just, we can give you a call. You can give us like, a certain amount of your time. That's it. I mean, that's what, yeah. And that's what they do here. CAMC or hospital, they'll pay for somebody to go through nursing school. But then after they graduate nursing school for like 5 years, or I don't know, somewhere between 3 to 5 years, you have to work for that hospital. So it's like, okay, just we'll pay for your college. Just, every once in a while, like just answer a few of our questions and help us out. No biggie. Oh, yeah, I used to do that. We, me and my friend in high school, we used to pass notes. Uh, and so, yeah, in case the teacher caught us, so he couldn't read our note out loud, we would write it in Elvish, so that way we wouldn't get caught with what we were writing about. Yeah, it's Elvish. Um, but I don't know, I've lost track of what I was talking about. But yeah, so let's crowdsource. Let's build our own community of organizers and protesters. We've got to do it. We can't. I mean, hell, we don't have enough money to pay for one of these corporate lawyers, but we can, maybe a couple of us, contribute some money, a couple dollars here and there, to where not only are we helping somebody get an education and a job that, can pay, a thriving wage, but also, it helps us out. But that's what I'm talking about, building up our community. When somebody else is struggling, we're not, it's going to affect us. When somebody, I mean, not to sound too hippy dippy, but when somebody is hurting, we all hurt. There's no such thing as if there's somebody in your community that's a drug addict, and they have kids, what are their kids going to turn up to be? What if they, to support their habit, they go and they rob your house, stuff like that. It's like their problem will become everybody's problem. It hurts the entire community. So that's why we have to take care of other people. Not, I mean, just because we should, but in case, anybody's listening that needs an actual reason, to care about other people, that's why, y'all give me shit for my Elvish. I can't. I was just practicing it. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Now I just need to learn Klingon. We'll be good. Um, oh my God, wouldn't that be terrifying to to the cops and the politicians? We just show up and start talking in Klingon. Oh my God, they're terrorists. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, just to get back to the notes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of technical stuff in the notes that I posted, which was, just certain types of battle tactics. And let me bring that up. Let me see if I can get that, because it comes down to certain things. You have to have certain numbers, right? The effectiveness of our battle is going to come down to these things. How big are our numbers? How quickly can we mobilize? Like, let's say, because this is most likely to happen, a cop shoots yet another unarmed person, right? So how quickly can we mobilize in that area? How many, and how quickly can we get people to that community to start protesting the police there and the system there? So, we need mobility, speed, what resources do we have, and we have to know our own weaknesses. We have to know our strengths and we have to know our weaknesses because they know us between Facebook, Google, our search histories, YouTube, algorithms. They know what we want. They know how we make decisions. It's called game theory. I'm going to have to do an entire episode on game theory because it's just a way that they can predict what choice you're going to make. So that way they can steer you in the right direction. So, um, this is just all things that we just need to know. We just need to know how they manipulate us. What are our weaknesses? Where is it that we can, fall victim to what they're trying to do? Our as far as our strengths go, uh, we've got numbers on our side. We've got a lot of good people. We've got, oh God, that sounds like Trump. A lot of good people on our side. But I mean, we've got ethics on our side. As far as the corporate people, they don't have emotional attachments. They don't believe in the golden rule. Okay, they're willing to sell each other out to the highest bidder. We are more than that. We are here to organize based on what's right and what's wrong, and we shouldn't be able to sell out for $1 million when that means that our grandchildren are going to suffer the effects of our decisions and our actions. What good is $100 million today when 10 years from now we have no ozone left and we're all frying like in a skillet basically. Yeah, I mean, we're all in the pot boiling, so it's not. Yeah, woohoo, I got that $100 million in a yacht that I can't use because we evaporated the oceans. That's what I want to see. I want to see a world that, like, we all get a chance. We all get an education, where learning and science is prized. Being kind to each other and working together, that's a goal. Yeah, like I, yeah, I mean, I want to see planned obsolescence, you know, go away. It would be really great because I mean, do you remember back when we had repairmen, like, when your TV broke, you would take it to a repairman. When your shoes wore out, you would take it to a shoe repairman. You know, and it was just something that you bought for life that you had to do maintenance on. But now it's just like we're just constantly chucking stuff out faster than we can buy it. It would be really great, exploration. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I would love to see more of a Star Trek future instead of like this, you know, dystopian Hunger Games shit that we're going through right now. That would be, I mean, just give us a just give us a little bit. I mean, we can make it work. We don't need much. We can do, I mean, look at how we've been living. No money, no resources. I mean, everything's been taken away from us. But look, we're still here having this discussion. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what we could accomplish if we had health care, if we had, living wage, if we were able to take sick days or a vacation, if we had time to sit and have a barbecue with our neighbors, get to know them. Can you imagine what we could do with those resources? But you know what? We don't need it. We can make it happen. We're gonna be a broke Batman, okay? We're gonna be a poor man's Batman. Get it done. All right. So I think that's all for tonight. I've been rambling for about an hour, so I want to go too long. So let's see who we got. Look, crooked cops and put them in general. Ooh,
You see who I am in all this? You read in your note, in your chat?
I see you.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me go back to chat. Killer cop needs to be attacked is the only way to reach the cops and do not kill indiscriminately. That do not kill indiscriminately. Oligarchs be like, dead or alive, you're coming with me. but somewhere else. Lock crooked cops up and put them in general population. Oh, I would love to see that happen. I would love to see that, and I would also love to see, mm, like Hillary Clinton working the drive-through at McDonald's. Mm, wouldn't that be so great for these Karens to come through there and be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, my order right." Chuck a milkshake at her, just yell at her and call her a stupid piece of shit. Because I know the hell that is working a drive-through, and it will kill your soul. It does. It does. People come through there. You're like, please. I hope there's an asteroid that would just wipe us all off the face of this earth because we do not deserve to be here. We do not deserve to be here after seeing those people. But those are the squeaky wheel. There's more wheels that don't squeak, but those are the ones that get attention. Hmm. So I want healthcare to national job pool. Yeah, that would be great. If we expanded Social Security and had a federal jobs program, that would do wonders for the unemployment. Make sure that people can go out and get an education with whatever they need. And I'm tired of people acting like artists aren't important. We all like to go see movies, and everybody likes to run an advertisement for things. You need artists to do advertisements. You need artists. Yeah, we all would like to go to a museum and look at the art in there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, these are all things. Artists are important. It's not some useless degree. Whatever. Deep Impact. Oh God, Austin, that is so not cool. I watched Deep Impact when I was a kid, and that gave me nightmares of tsunamis for years on end. I live in West Virginia. There's literally no chance of a tsunami. But that movie, it was a bad movie too. But I was just like, oh my God, the tsunamis. I would have nightmares about it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Austin, end homelessness, feed the people. We have the means. We absolutely have the means. Oh, Jordan brought up the we feed them. We feed them. Oh, we feed them. She might as well have just said, let them eat cake. It was the same. Uh, Deep Impact, man. That was a messed up movie. Anyway, um, I just watched it. I was too young, way too young. So yes, I would love to see Hillary McDonald's drive-through. Oh, and Joe Manchin. He could work at Walmart. He could deal with the Walmart crowd. Nancy Pelosi, all of them, please do an essential job. I would love to see all these politicians, all these people, Jeff Bezos, they should all be essential employees. I want Jeff Bezos on cleaning the bedpan duties at the hospital. That would be great. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Join the Slack. I'll put the link to the Slack in the notes. Yeah, it's in the chat, but I'll put it in the notes too in case anybody's watching this later on. And there's my Twitter. It's _Redden Economics. I've got a Facebook group, which I don't really check Facebook all too much, but I'll approve. Anybody that wants to join in the group, I'll add them. It's just Redden Economics on there too. And check out our website that we're working on, nonpartyvoters.org. Yeah, but let's do this. Let's change some stuff. So anyway, it was really great having y'all here and having this conversation, and I will talk